Going on, everyone? Dave Flatt here with Release Over 20. I'm going to bring on our co-host here, Adam. How's it going, Adam?
Hey, everybody.
This is our January live giveaway broadcast, and I don't know where Kerry is, but I think he's going to join us. But if he does, we'll just pop him right in. But before we get started, we're going to start with the story. So hold on one second.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Get ready for it. This is a slightly over 20-inch mud puppy that I caught recently. But we don't accept mud puppies in our broadcast, so I'm going to keep this one. This is Jovi. This is a new member of our family. Little golden puppy. That's my other very jealous dog in the background. I'm going to hand it back. Say bye. Okay.
Oh, what's this?
Anyway, we've had her since yesterday, so she's super sweet. Addition to our family. Anyway, sorry for that distraction. So what's going on? What's new in your life, Adam?
Not much. Same old, I guess.
So you had I had to miss because we were picking up Jovi from the breeder, but you were at award ceremony at DNR, right?
Yeah, DNR had a luncheon for the volunteers. They combined the people that volunteer for the tagging program, and they have and also the fishing instructors, which is what Kerry and I signed up to do. So they combined it and had a luncheon at their headquarters on Saturday for lunch. So yeah, it was a good event, pretty well attended. A lot of our followers were there, fortunately. And they were talking up. First of all, DNR is definitely looking forward to being part of our Cast It Forward this year in April. So
Great.
We have some details to work out with them, but they're definitely excited, and I think we want to get them some stage time this year, hopefully.
Yeah, that was funny. Like those of you that weren't at the event last year, we had some speakers on the stage, and they spoke some mistruths. And our people at DNR were like they're cringing, wanting to sort of set the record straight, but it wouldn't have been like in a bad way, but it will definitely get them some stage time so they can there's a lot of mistruths that people throw around.
For sure.
I think speckled trout spawning is probably the biggest of them all. I've heard so many different people state the fact that the facts, and I didn't know the facts, but I did learn the facts, and it's a lot different than most people think. I mean, this pretty much are serial spawners, just spawning like constantly from the time the water gets warm enough to the time it gets too cold. Just every night a spawn. So it's pretty cool.
I will add one thing that they mentioned at the luncheon is that they have a big open house on Earth Day, which I think is it might be the weekend before our Cast It Forward event in April. I think it's April 22nd. Don't quote me exactly, but sometime around then. Anyway, they have an open house there at Fort Johnson for those of you that live in the Charleston area. They have their headquarters in Fort Johnson. And they said that on this Earth Day, they have a giant open house. Everyone that works there is on hand, and they have full tours, and you can do boat rides, and they do all kinds of instructional stuff for all the different areas that they're in. But I guess most specifically and importantly for this audience and myself, and what you've said, Dave, is that they said the trout tanks will be available to tour. They said they have some giant trout in some of these holding tanks in their lab or something. So
they're so big you don't even think they're trout. They're just. Have you seen them, Adam?
No, they had like a tour last year for the volunteers. They did a tour, but they weren't. I think because of COVID, we weren't allowed to go into there, and that's clearly.
So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but years ago, I got permission to put a GoPro in those tanks while we fed them. And I've been sitting on that footage. Like I have the footage, I just haven't done anything with it. So I have two different sessions. One when the water was cold, and one when it was warm. And we were just throwing like chunks of cut bait and shrimp in the tank and filming them in high def. and
Oh,
it was really cool. Like I need to dig it up and make a video, put on our Release Over 20 page. It's really cool to see. And the amazing thing is, like, when you listen to the audio, when the water's warm and the trout come up, you know that they hit so fast, it goes like
oh, really? You can even hear the
it
noise.
snap like that. That's how fast their gills flare.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, but I mean, I look at those things and I'm like, man, if I hook that on my trout rod, I don't know if I could turn it. Like, I mean, they're giant. They're huge. It's like, well, think about like a 30-inch red, but it's a trout.
Yeah.
It's just a huge fish.
Well, I follow Speckled Truth, right? And they have that Dirty 30.
Yeah.
So, when they post those pictures, and I
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
Yeah. It's really cool to see them. The thing, someone mentioned, that world record trout that woman caught in North Carolina. They aged it because they killed that fish, but they aged it and it was only 5 years old.
Oh, wow, that's it.
32 or 33 inches, and there was some discussion online, and I chimed in because it reminded me that when I was talking to Matt about who's kind of in charge of raising those fish. So those come in as broodstock from, you catch them probably trammel netting. They caught, like let's say a 16-inch fish, and they put it in those tanks, and they don't have any, like they kind of don't have a lot of current to fight, and they don't have any predators, and they get fed on the regular, and they grow to like 8 or 9 pounds within like 3 years.
Wow.
Like, so it makes me kind of rewind. I need to talk to those guys and see if we know any more, because it's kind of interesting. We base a lot of like 20-inch trouts 4 years old. That's in the wild here in Charleston, but we know they grow at different rates. I just wonder if it has more to do with like how much food they have and how much calories they need to burn. They just might grow way faster when there's they can be fat and lazy and eating bonbons. It kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's logical for sure.
But it'd be cool to find out from a scientist, like, how true is that observation? Because when he said that about those tanks, I was like, really? That's incredible.
Yeah,
because they're huge fish.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what.
it's well worth seeing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was talking to them about it at the lunch thing, and they're like, "Yeah, I want some of those fish in there are like record size."
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I got to see this.
It's super cool. So I made some slides for January.
Okay.
And I added a bunch of stuff. So I wanted to remind everyone about Cast It Forward, because we're getting a bunch of questions, because it's February and this is about the time when we had it last year, and some people were like, "Are you doing it again?" And the answer is we moved it back till April, because first of all, because Hadrill's Point is the big fishing tackle store here in Charleston, the local one, and they have an expo. And they didn't have it last year, but they had it this year, and it's late January. We didn't want to poach the same resources as them, but to move it back far enough so that it's not, messing with their schedule. We have a very busy expo and event calendar in Charleston in the spring. It's just like one thing after another. We have Southeastern Wildlife Exposition, and there's a whole list of them. So we moved it back to April, and so it should be really good weather.
Yeah, it was a year ago today. It was a year ago today.
Oh, was it really? Oh, yeah, it was.
February
5th.
And by the way, if we had it this weekend, we would have had the same issue with the weather. It was
yeah, cold and rainy.
I know some of you might be watching from colder spots, but for down here anyway, this weekend was below average temperature.
Yeah,
and it was windy, so
it was cold. Yeah, it would have been bad. April should be beautiful. It's going to be really good. So we haven't finalized the programming yet, but we have confirmed C.A. Richardson's coming back. Matt Chipperfield's expressed an interest to come back again. We've got some panelists. We've got Tia Clark, who runs. She's got an amazing story, very inspirational person. She runs Casual Crabbing with Tia, which is the #1 Airbnb destination trip in the country. And she's based out of Charleston. And she's one of our headline speakers. It's going to be really great to hear from her. She has she does some really neat things on her. How do you call it? Almost like a charter. It's kind of like a charter, but it's different. So I'm not going to give away what she does, but look forward to that for sure. And yeah, we're going to have like a VIP area with a meet and greet with some, people that everyone's going to want to, get to know and talk to one-on-one. And I'm going to have vendors. We already have Pure Flat signed up as from the Slick Lure signed up as a sponsor. We got more on the way. So yeah.
And we'll have the kayak raffle.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay, and we're also going to do just like last year, an online silent auction. And again, none of those things you don't have to be present for any of that stuff. But again, this is kind of our major source of funds for the year. So, those the kayak, obviously the event itself, but then the kayak and all the online auction things that we can get, and obviously auction off. That's our major source of funding for the year. So we're looking forward to it. And
thanks for pointing that out. I sometimes forget that. That's the most important thing. It's our most important fundraiser of the year. So
exactly,
we're probably going to hit up some people from other states to see if they'll donate charters for people who might want to participate in their state as well. So be on the lookout if you're a charter captain, or if you hear this and you're willing to do it, reach out to us, because we'd love to have you contribute as well. We've got some big plans for spending money, so we'll need some income. We've been living on a shoestring up till now. Okay. Yeah, so Adam led into this. So if you hadn't seen our posts, we haven't really heavily promoted this yet, but we have this awesome kayak. It's a high-end fishing kayak from Native. It's a Slayer Propel Max. It's 10-foot pedal drive and super wide and stable. I hadn't even seen this thing until we had at our expo and actually had it there. And I have 2 kayaks from a competitor. I'll just leave it there. And seriously thinking about selling those and going to this thing and buying one, because it's a really, really cool. It's got a high seat, super comfortable, real stable for standing, a million features to store things and hold things. And it's really cool. We're going to have some videos to show about a kind of a walkthrough of all the features, but we have this on our store right now. If you go to releaseover20.org/store, there's a category for this, and you can buy these raffle tickets. You can buy 1, 2, or 3, and you get a discount if you buy more than one. And we're going to do this the same way we do giveaways like we're doing tonight, where when we get to the event, we're going to print off all of the entries from our store and onto like cards, and we're going to put them in a big wheel and roll them around and like have a live broadcast and have a kid like pick the winner. Literally anyone that buys a ticket has an equal chance of winning. So we're going to do it just fully transparent, just like we do everything else. So, but it's sweet, don't you think, Adam? Were you impressed by it?
Yeah, definitely. Like somewhat similar to you, we have some used kayaks that we bought that don't have the they don't have pedal drive, anything with your feet. So you have to row with your hands. And I would say if you're seriously going to want to really fish out of a kayak, you need, first of all, you need the pedal drive, but this one that we have is definitely top notch.
It's super cool. It's $2,700 kayak. It's really awesome.
Yeah, and they said it's the lightest one on the market for that size.
Yeah, what was
it?
Still
stable.
69 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
And just want to again point out that this was donated by Big Adventures LLC out of North Carolina and Native Kayaks. So I just want to thank them for for sponsoring this for us. They came to us and offered this up, and it's really, really awesome. Wanted to just hit back and remind guides that we have this guide program now, where all you got to do is sign up, and we'll send you a free kit, and your charter will then, once you register, your charter company will show up under your state page with your contact information. We have a top 10 leaderboard for guides, also leaderboards by state. And we're also going to do a monthly giveaway for your clients' releases, which we're going to do the first one tonight. So get on board if you're a charter captain. We've had a lot of people sign up. I haven't gone and looked at how many signed up, but we probably have 40 to 50 guides signed up, I think. So pretty excited about that. We need to hit on that some more to help promote it. So we mentioned this last month, but I wanted to talk about this again. We have like a pilot program that we started for state representatives, and it's going really well so far. I think that's hidden right now, but didn't intend that. But so Adam, you want to talk about who we got here?
Yeah, so we've been fortunate enough to have 3 guys step forward from various places to volunteer their time and energy. So, I think we've mentioned in the past that as we have, all these different areas, and, Dave, myself, and Kerry, and the rest of the team are here in Charleston, we're trying to figure out better ways that we can reach all of you, no matter where you are, right? So kind of our idea is to have these state reps to have these state reps kind of spread out throughout our territories that can kind of, give us a lot more ability to reach people and get better facts about the local fisheries. Because as Dave said, a 20, trout, for instance, a 20-inch trout here is not the same, biologically as a 20-inch trout in Texas or something like that. So anyway, point being, we're fortunate enough, we had 3 people, unsolicited reach out. Cliff in Louisiana, Brandon in Florida, and Kaya in Maryland / Virginia.
Yeah, Chaya.
So I'm sorry, Chaya. But so those are our 3 state reps. We just started with them within the last couple of weeks. We kind of have about 5 different kind of bullet points of things that we're kind of looking for in general, just to give them some structure. And then we're just seeing kind of where it goes. Obviously, always respectful of people's time that are, willing to volunteer, but, whatever they can do within that framework. But the bottom line is to just, again, create awareness and grow the program. I mean, Dave has done a really great job of kind of laying the groundwork. We can really scale this thing much bigger than it is even now, relatively easily organizationally. So, we definitely are trying to expect, like we said, create awareness in all these places where we're not, where we don't have knowledge of, necessarily the biology around the fisheries, and also just kind of the local, what are the big events there that Release Over 20 should be at? How can we reach local guides in those areas and things like that? So, again, things we have limited visibility on here where we are. So, yes, we're building that out with these guys, and you will see probably along those lines, these guys have a lot of great energy. And they have a lot of great ideas around localizing some of the things, like with giveaways, specific giveaways, to kind of create more awareness in places where most of the people haven't heard of us yet. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for that stuff, especially if you're in one of those places. And hopefully at some point we'll grow out to have reps in all of our areas. So did I miss anything, Dave?
No, that's perfect. And Scotty Wasson just chimed in and said, do you need a North Carolina rep? And I would say, absolutely, we do. But maybe not right away. Like we said, this is kind of like a pilot. We wouldn't want to overwhelm ourselves with too much. Like, we already have a lot of moving parts going right now. But if you be patient with us, Scotty, just a little bit, and reach out to us, either my email is dflight@releaseover20.org, and Adam's is a farber FAHRER at releaseover20.org. Send us an email and we can take it offline from there. So thanks for asking, Scotty.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So the cool thing about, like, just to build on what Adam said, the three guys that we have so far all have brought new and different things to the table, and they're kind of each three working on their own stuff kind of relative to where they're at. So just real quick, Cliff is doing a great job already, just trying to get awareness up in Louisiana. There's a lot of people in Louisiana that still don't know what we're doing. I've never heard of Release Over 20. And one of the first things he did was he brought on John Miller, who's really well respected YouTube. You might have seen his YouTube videos on trout. He's just really intuitive guy, brings a lot to the table with trying to understand trout behavior. And he actually released a video today with Don Ballius, another longtime supporter from Mississippi, and it was great. And that came out of Cliff and his contacts. So he's also working on like having a unique sort of incentive / giveaway for Louisiana only to try to boost the awareness down there. And it'll be like a time-based thing, maybe like a 6-month thing, or maybe some limited amount of time to help boost that awareness. And we're working on that right now. So that's pretty cool. Chaya is from Northern Virginia, and he's an avid angler, and we're working right now to get him in touch with a lot of the leaders in Virginia. So we've got him talking to a bunch of people that we put him in contact, both leaders in the recreational area, also with CCA, so that he's really well networked in that area. So I'm sure lots going to come from that. And then lastly, Brandon, some of you know, like Scotty mentioned before, he has started a little tournament called the Race to 20, which is kind of cool. It involves who can get 20 trout over 20 caught and released, and 20 redfish over 30 released. And it's becoming really popular. He wants to grow it. And from the very beginning, he asked if we could sort of track the results through us. And I told him we weren't ready yet, and that was the truth. And we're still not quite ready yet either. But in a discussion with him, he's so enthusiastic about Release Over 20 as well. We asked if he would be a state rep, and he enthusiastically agreed. So he also may become like longer term, like our tournament director for tournaments. And the cool thing that I think that he's doing is, like, his tournament, like, he's pretty insistent that there should be no entry fee so that it doesn't exclude anyone. Whether you got, money to spend or not, you can be someone who fishes from the bank, and just all you gotta do is sign up. And that's completely in line with what we're trying to do. So we're excited about having Brandon. By the way, we tried to get all three of these guys to join us tonight, but they all have young families, and we being having older kids sort of forget that that's like dinner and bedtime. So we're going to try to probably next month we'll change the time so that they can join up. Oh, look who showed up.
Hey guys, am I late or something?
What's that?
Am I late or something?
30 minutes.
Oh, were we supposed to meet at 7:30?
Yeah. It's all right. You're here now.
I'm 10 minutes early for our 8 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kerry Browning.
Oh, man.
It's all good, dude. We were just talking about our state reps. We haven't got, so you're actually on perfect timings. We're just about to get to your stuff.
Okay.
So here we are. So wanted to go over January's results. We had 270 trout, 2 flounder, and 8 sheepshead. As most of you know, this time of year is like the time of the year for big trout. It's not the time of year for flounder. Big flounder are all offshore spawning right now, except for a few stragglers, as you can see. It is a good time of year for sheep's head. However, at least here in Charleston, you need to go about 9 miles offshore to catch them. They're mostly offshore as well, or near shore. So it makes sense that we have a little bit lower numbers this time of year for those two species, but we do have a few. And yeah, so the results by state, most of January, Texas was in the lead. And then Virginia came along and ended up being a leader by a long shot. But Texas did really well this month. And Louisiana had a pretty good showing too. Almost equal with Florida, which is something else. Our Florida results aren't great, so maybe Brandon can help raise awareness in Florida and get some more entries coming from them. And our angler leaderboard, I can't read it, but I think it's I'm sorry. Let's see. Wesley Abreu. I'm not sure I mentioned I pronounced his name right. Abreu. Keith Nuttall, who's a legend up there in Virginia. Don Rogers, Chad Gonzalez, Orlando Moreno, Wayne Seymour, Rodney Jarman, Jacob Parente, Austin Bailey, and Connor Voldenhall. So yeah, good job, guys. It took looks like 7 or 8 to make the top 10 in January. So we had a pretty good showing from guides. We had 8 guides submit fish, and a lot from South Carolina. So this is on the fly is captain from Murrells Inlet. So is MIFC from Murrells Inlet. This is Matt Chipperfield from Florida. David Turan from Houston. Unfortunately, I don't know all these other captains, but we're hoping that with the guide program with time, we'll have a minimum 10 different guides, and we'll have a lot more entries coming in. But it's a good start. It's our first month of the Get On Board program. So nice job, everybody. And then we're going to move into our giveaway items. I'm going to take it away, Kara.
Speaking of David Turan from, what's the name of his?
Prime Gancho.
Well, Prime Gancho. He's a sponsor of ours, and I'm sure you're going to see one of his caps coming up here pretty soon. We're doing the sheep's head first. So Florida Fishing Products cap, Carolina First Mate, it's a koozie, but it's also got a sample of their boat wash, which is, Adam always thinks it's funny when I say you can almost drink it because it is very environmentally friendly. They also have some of their bug spray, which is a gnat spray, bottom sweeper jigs. We've got the twitch clips, and we got the retriever. Got a Dan from Savannah. We've got one of his last of his stickers, I think, out there, and then Waterloo koozie. So nice little giveaway there for the sheep's head.
This other twitch clip thing is you can hook your like clippers to it or something, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like a little, that's kind of cool. You hook it in your belt loop.
Yeah. And then for flounders, it's almost like a little wardrobe kind of a thing going on here. But Mud Minnow Gator, bait binder T-shirt. I think that's a medium. And Hook. We've had Hook on board now for about 2 months. And this is the first time that I've actually got them in inventory. And this may be the first 2 caps that we've given away from Hook, but it's really, really cool to have them on board. And then the Z-Man Minnow Z swim bait.
Nice. That's kind of a cool logo on the Hook.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Speckled trout. This is our normal $150 giveaway, and it's got all the normal kind of things. Again, there's Hook. That's 2 caps that we're giving away. We've got the swim baits, Slick. let's see, we haven't got to the captains yet. So anyway, Slick, those guys, they're awesome. They just sent us 36 packs. He just asked us, he said, what can I do to, to help you guys out? And I had a drawer of Slick, Slick lures already. And I was probably down to maybe 6 or 8 packs. And I was like, if you want to pony up for the year, 36 packs of some kind of a soft plastic that we can, give out to 3, categories, because we wouldn't give them to the sheep or to the sheep's head necessarily. And I mean, he was right on board and sent us a whole bunch. And I'll talk about this in the captain's giveaway. I'll talk about what they've got going on. Adam can help me out too. But anyway, Florida Fishing Products, we've got a Net Gator. We've got Paul Brown's original topwater bait with a sticker with Rayo sunglasses. They've been fantastic. That's a $65 value right there. Ice Strike jig heads, Waterloo, and then some Z-Man and some Salt Strong with Slam Series swim baits. So that's a really nice little giveaway there.
I could use everything in that pack.
Me too.
Yeah,
Like, that's not something you just like, I'm not going to use that. I literally use everything in that pack.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
And then,
so this is our first client giveaway, right?
okay, I'm calling this the captains. That's how I listed it, at least for my notes. But here's what I think is really cool about this. Pure Flats, the Slick lures. Adam, do you see those? That's their little, they call it the Lil Slick.
Oh yeah, that's the new one.
That's the new one. And it's literally, the picture doesn't do it justice, but it's a small little, almost like a Ned rig, which I knew you would like, but it's a really small profile bait. And this time of the year, they ought to just tear them up. And I haven't used them yet. I'm excited to try them, but Prime Goncho Cap, again, we're just talking about him. Rayo sunglasses. This is a really nice giveaway here too. The Maniac Mullet swim bait. Then we have all of your, Slam Series, the Z-Man, and AM Fishing. So got some really good baits right here, and sunglasses and a hat, and it's a good giveaway.
Yet again, you can use every one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good picking this time.
Yeah.
Well, you always do, but this is nice.
Yeah, this is it's just really exciting for this one, especially because I was trying to keep in mind what if somebody won, from being on a client, client one being on a captain's boat, this would be a nice giveaway for them.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Okay, so I think that is the end of our slide. So we can go ahead and do the giveaway. Let's see. I gotta share my screen. I always fumble at this part.
Huh. So I mean, listen, the Flounder is a 1 in 2 chance, 50 shot.
Yeah,
guys.
We keep hoping eventually people are going to figure out that if they release a Flounder, they got or sheep's head, they got a dang good chance of winning.
Yeah,
by the way,
1 in 8 for the sheep's head.
By the way, Adam and I fished at, 4 sheep's head. We didn't necessarily target them, but I had a couple of friends in from Michigan, and I wanted to keep them busy catching something. So I took some shrimp on just a jig head and made sure that we were catching. Well, I caught my personal best sheep's head, and I'm not on that list because it was the first keeper I've ever caught in my life. So that just goes to show you, I mean, we don't target them. We really don't target them, but 14 1/4, I can't imagine what it'd be like to catch one 21 inches. I mean, it's hard.
Oh, they fight hard.
Inch.
They fight.
Fights, but
yeah. What a great move too by Kerry. We we had these friends in town, and the best day was Thursday, but it was the day after a cold front blew through, and the artificial bite just was not.
We caught 1 trout and 1 redfish, and Adam caught a trout. He fished hard, and I think Steve, my friend from Michigan, he caught a redfish on an artificial, but that was it. I mean, that was it.
So plan B, plan B with the bait was definitely a great move by the captain for sure.
Yeah.
Good job, Captain.
Well done.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Sheep's Head. Sound good? We got so we showed 8, and we did have 8, but 2 of those were guide releases. So we're gonna have 6.
Oh, even better.
So the odds got even better.
So the guides are for all species then, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So 6. We're gonna roll 3 times. First roll is 4, 6, and the winner is 4. Flex Wagner from Louisiana.
All right. Awesome.
Nice.
Hey, now, David, tell me, is that the actual guide, or is that the name that he?
This is not the guides. This is
that's the client.
Just sheep. No, this is just people submitting Sheep's Head.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We're gonna do guides last.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we should point out, you were talking about the great job Cliff is already starting to do in Louisiana and adding John and those guys, but we really got a really noticeable boost months back with Captain Devin when he just out of nowhere just made a video kind of about what we're doing. So
good point.
Devin Denman from LA Fish Blog.
Yeah, he has he has an online fishing course for Louisiana. Well, I guess it's for anywhere, but it's for speckled trout and redfish that he's selling subscriptions to. But he also does YouTube videos from time to time. So it moved the needle for sure. So
and he's funny as hell. He cracks me up.
Very, very entertaining to watch for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so flounder, we got 2. You got a 50-50 chance. James Krause and Aline Greavy. Good luck.
Yeah.
Whoever loses, I'm sorry. First roll is 2. Second roll is 1, and the winner is 2. Sorry, James.
I think next time we have 2, we should get them on here, and they should do live rock paper.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be really funny.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of really good odds, Adam, we should talk about the raffle for the kayak.
Oh yeah, we actually did that before.
So. Oh, did you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
But good idea.
Yep. Covered that pretty good. So next one is we have 249 for trout. And the first roll is 21, second is 173, and the winner is 231. Wayne Seymour from Virginia. Congrats, Wayne.
Cool.
So we got a Virginia, we got a South Carolina, and we got a Louisiana so far.
All right.
Okay, we have 23 guide submissions. Now,
cool.
We didn't have many guides submit their name of their client. So I think that's a thing that we just need to go over again with them. I don't know if it's like a really pain in the butt for them to do so, but what we can do is pick the winner and then look at the photo and have them recall who it is. So I may not know the actual name of the client, but I'll get with the charter captain and I can go back and figure out which picture they submitted for it.
Okay.
So we have 23 guide submissions. And we'll go ahead and choose it now. First one is 17, second is 22, and the winner is 15, which is Eric Gonsolin from Texas. So Eric is a big trout guide. Like he's waiting, and if you follow him on Instagram, he's the real deal. So I appreciate that, Eric.
He's got 6 entries.
So, he's got 6 entries.
That's awesome.
And he's been a big supporter as well. So appreciate that, and look forward to telling him that he can reward one of his clients.
So we have South Carolina, Louisiana, Texas, and what else?
Georgia?
Not Virginia.
Oh, for winners?
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas, Louisiana, South Carolina, and Virginia.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
pretty good.
4 states. I mean,
Yep, pretty awesome. So yeah, cool. And Carrie, you'll have to go back and look at the rebroadcast of this
I
because
will.
you missed a special guest when we started out.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I will definitely do that. I'm sorry. I can't. I thought it was 8:00.
That's okay. That's all right.
Dude, welcome to Sleepless Nights.
Well,
I'd say you're
my
fired,
defense-
but we can't afford to fire you.
in my defense, I will say that we've been busy. The three of us have really been busy, and then we get. I got my 3 friends that come in. Well, at the same time when I'm trying, I know that I need to get these packages out, so that we can get everything sent out. At the same time, my truck goes in the shop, and I expected it to be out on Friday evening. Well, the parts they ordered in ended up being the wrong parts. I didn't get it until yesterday morning. I had my friends pick it up as they came back through town. So I had to actually go in so that I could go to storage and get all these items to take photos of. I had to take my Model A in the rain, pouring down rain, in all the way into Mount Pleasant to get my keys for the storage unit that we rent for our Release Over 20 giveaways, and then go get them, pick them, and bring them back, take photos. And so,
How many times get honked at?
not too many. Maybe I did. I just wasn't paying attention though. But,
Oh, before we go, we need to mention our new social media person. Carrie, do you want to?
Well, I didn't know if
describe how we found her.
Yeah, I will. I'd love to. I didn't know if she had been on here tonight or not. So, yeah, big shout out to Sierra. And so we're at the expo, the Hadril's fishing expo that they finally were able to do for the first time in 3 years. And they were gracious enough to give us, Release Over 20, a 10x10 booth. So anyway, we worked that for a couple of days, and on the tail end of the last day, I meandered over to the Robalo because I really like those boats. I meandered over there. They had a 20-foot Robalo setting out there, and I got talking to the guy, his salesman. His name is Gian, and Gian and I are talking, and I said, "Yeah, we have a booth too," and I'm explaining that we have a booth and who we are and what we do. And he's like, "Oh, well, my fiance is a marine biologist major," and I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, she's looking for somebody to help out, somebody like a nonprofit she could work for." And it was just a match made in heaven. And it was the tail end of the day on Sunday. We were all exhausted, but I walked over with Sierra and asked Sierra, "Can I just introduce you to these guys and see what you think?" And I came over and I was like, "You guys aren't going to believe what I just stumbled onto." And I mean, she's really smart. She's everything we need for social media. She just, those younger kids, they know how that stuff works, and just really excited. David gave me a big hug just because he was glad to find, somebody that can help us out in that way. So
yeah,
big for us.
And if you saw our Instagram post that was announcing the giveaways, that was her first post that she's done for us. She's going to take over more and more as time goes by. But I'm definitely looking forward for her to get more on board. And she's going to bring more than just social media to the table, too. She's got a lot of ideas. So it's going to be really good. It's great. It's great to see our team growing. And next month we'll try to get our state reps to chime in, to join us here, so you all can meet them. Carrie, I was telling everyone before that we chose a really hard time for our state reps. They all have young kids, and it's like dinner and bath and bedtime.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we'll do it a little bit later next time, so they can help. They can join in.
Well, when you get to be pretty close to 60, a little bit later is hard for these old guys too, though.
Early was a problem for you.
Apparently so.
Oh, good. All right. So winners, I will send you an email, and we'll confirm your address and send out your stuff. Congrats for winning. Everyone else, keep the entries coming. The more times you enter, the more times you'll get a chance to win.
Great captain's showing
Yeah.
for the first month too. That's awesome. And yeah, so we have a lot of things in the works. I mean, we have got a lot of stuff going on right now, and it seems like we've just hit a place where we're going to be busy. Got a lot of things, exciting things that we're working on, and everything's moving fast.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, one thing we forgot to mention, Adam, where are we going to be in July?
July, we're officially registered, and we're going to have a exhibitor booth at ICAST 2023.
Yep, and we are probably going to need a few volunteers to come help us. So if you want to go to ICAST and you want to help volunteer, hit us up.
Get your name in on the list because it's filling up pretty fast, and it's a great event, though. I mean, just being there is you can't just get in the door there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's something you need, like to fish. You need to go there at least once in your life. It's pretty crazy. We're booth 4345, which is a pretty good booth. It's kind of toward the back, but it's not in a corner. It's kind of near Shimano. We'll post the location when we get close to the event. But
yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
Really excited. Cool. It is kind of a big reach for us in terms of percentage of our budget, but we feel it's obviously well worth it just for the exposure within the industry and the awareness it'll create, and also all the extra sponsors we're hoping to add on so that we can make these giveaways even better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're very much looking forward to it. And we have obviously our major fundraiser coming up for Cast It Forward. So we did have to front the money. We had to pay for this space now. So, but assuming Cast It Forward goes okay, we're not in financial peril or anything. But I'm just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our treasurer squirming in his seat because funds are getting low.
Yeah, we have a lot of big initiatives for sure, but hopefully we'll get there.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right,
we'll talk soon. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Till next month.